Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. Dear brothers and sisters in Islam, we welcome you all to the series Islam, a Simple Way of Religion. In this, to address as many questions as possible on a given day. We were unable to do these two programs for the last 2 days due to some technical issues. To resume this program, the only difference would be that we would try to basically cover it from any time between 7:30 to 9:30. Because I know it's during the month of Ramadan and people would be offering their Isha Salah during 8 o'clock. So I thought I'll try this slot. If 7:30 doesn't work, then inshallah I will restore back to 9. The question: when is Lailathul Qadr or Night of Power? So the reason why this question is basically posed is we all are actually going through the month of Ramadan and we have been observing fast. And the most anticipated part of the Lailathul Qadr. Every Lailathul Qadr, and we are all eagerly waiting for attaining the Lailathul Qadr. So like Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mentions about the Lailathul Qadr. So first we have to understand the significance of Lailathul Qadr as mentioned in the Quran. For any Muslim, so be him performing salah regularly in the masjid or not, for a Muslim the day Lailathul Qadr would be of immense importance for him. And the reason being, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala emphasizes the importance of Lailathul Qadr in the Quran in one whole chapter of the Quran. In Quran, if you read the chapter 97, Surah Al-Qadr, where Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, Inna anzalnahu fi Lailatul Qadr. So, verily we have sent Quran down in the night of Al-Qadr. Wama adraka ma Lailatul Qadr. And what will make you know what the night of Qadr is? Khairum min alfi shahr. So that is the night in which the night of Al-Qadr is better than 1,000 months. Now understand the significance of Lailatul Qadr. Allah gives a quantitative number for Lailatul Qadr, where He is quantifying the night of Lailatul Qadr as having an importance much better than the 1,000 nights. So meaning, in other words, if one worships Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala during the night of Lailatul Qadr, he would be rewarded as if he worshipped for 1,000 nights. So 1,000 nights is translated approximately into 800 odd years. So assume one night of salah. So one night of dedication and one night of salah during the night of Lailatul Qadr is going to earn us about 800 years of reward, the equal reward of 800 years in which we stand and worship Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So that is so amazing to know that the importance of emphasized in Islamic texts. Absolutely, there is no question of whether Lailatul Qadr is there or not. But now the bigger problem here is that we need to identify the day and then celebrate. We say that we get a certain amount of benefits for worshipping during Friday. We would not arbitrarily choose one day and then worship that day. Rather, we would wait for Friday, we would wait for the Yawmul Jummah, and that particular day, whatever, be it going to masjid or the small duration during which in Jummah, if a person asks for anything from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, that will be granted, is all applicable only for Yawmul Jummah and not for any other days. Likewise, any benefit which is told in Islam that we would report during the Eid Salah or Eid prayers is specific only for the Eid day, not for any other days. In similar lines, if one has to observe Lailatul Qadr, has to get the benefit, first we should identify the Lailatul Qadr. That is more important for us. If Allah's Messenger has clearly showed us one particular day, and in that particular day, if Allah's Messenger has ordered us to basically observe the night of Lailatul Qadr, then there is no contention among the Islamic Ummah. However, because Prophet Mohammed has not clearly told one single day for Lailatul Qadr, that is where the entire contention is all about. Now when we come back to the when is Lailatul Qadr? Nobody is asking why Lailatul Qadr. We all know the significance of Lailatul Qadr. The question here is, when is Lailatul Qadr? So when is that night in which if one whole night of salah, he would be rewarded for as if worshipping Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for almost 1,000 nights, which is equal to 800 years. Imagine a person standing and worshiping subhanahu wa ta'ala for 800 years the amount of reward he will report, which he can report in one single night, and that is during Lailatul Qadr. There is no contention. However, like I told you, Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam did not tell us clearly as to when this Lailatul Qadr is. So that doesn't mean that Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam has left us, blindfolded in this deen. So if you read few authentic hadith which is mentioned in Sahih al-Bukhari, where it is narrated by Ubadah bin as-Samit, where Allah's messenger went out to inform the date or the night of decree, which is there happened a quarrel between two Muslims. When Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam was given the revelation about when that Lailatul Qadr is, and he wanted to disclose it to the Ummah, he comes and he quarreling among themselves, two Muslims basically fighting among themselves. So looking at that one, Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam indeed forgot. The Prophet Muhammad that I came out to inform you about the date of the night of Al-Qadr, but so and so quarreled. Its knowledge was taken away. Rather, I forgot that. So it was basically Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam basically forgot the day when it was actually told to Prophet Muhammad. So Prophet was actually indicated when is the night of Lailatul Qadr, and that was something what Prophet Muhammad wanted to tell his Ummah. And when he came outside, he found two people quarreling. In fact, the date in which Lailatul Qadr is actually there. Now we all know that Lailatul Qadr actually falls during the month of Ramadan. There is no doubt about it. So how do we identify when is Lailatul Qadr? There are some people who basically take something out of their desire, and they themselves conclude that Lailatul Qadr falls on the 27th of the night of the Ramadan. So right now we are in the 4th night of Ramadan. We have completed almost 3 fasts in most part of India, barring Kerala and few regions in Karnataka. Most part of India we have basically completed 3 Ramadan fasts. 3 sounds have been completed by today. So likewise, if we count, the 27th night is when most Muslims, I would say, actually prefer, and most Muslims declare that that is the Lailatul Qadr, and they offer that their prayers only during that particular night. Now it's so unfortunate to see the people actually taking the law of Islam into their own hands. Said attention in that one. However, when Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam himself says that he forgot the day when the Lailatul Qadr is actually, then we do not have a choice to declare one particular day and call it this is Lailatul Qadr. So this is considered to be one of the most atrocious thing in religion, upon which one Muslim should actually refrain from doing that one. We cannot take it just for granted and assume that Lailatul Qadr is going to fall on just 27th of Ramadan. That's totally absurd. Now, but did Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam just blindly leave us without giving an indication of when this? No, that's not the case. There are several authentic hadiths which is mentioned by Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, where Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam emphasized the last 10 nights of Ramadan, and to be specific, the odd nights during the month of Ramadan. So Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam emphasized that, and he in fact ordered us to search for the night of Lailatul Qadr, odd nights during the last 10 nights of Ramadan. So we all know that the last 10 nights of Ramadan is so significant in Islam, and that is the night when Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam has ordered us to search for this particular Lailatul Qadr during odd nights in that day. Now, how do we identify that one? It's so simple. So starting 21st night of Ramadan up until 29th night of Ramadan, we have these 5 nights: 21, 22, 21, 23, 25, 27 and 29. These 5 nights are so significant in Islam that one of that night is going to be Lailatul Qadr. One person who abiding by the ruling of Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and who is sticking to the sunnah of Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, who wants to identify when that Lailatul Qadr is, and he is cautiously looking for the searching for the night of Lailatul Qadr on odd nights of Ramadan. So this is one person. Now consider another person who basically blindly just takes into account that 27th night of Ramadan is the Lailatul Qadr. Now assume, we don't know, it's all like hidden for us. Assume, for For the sake of argument, I'm just telling you, assume that if the Lailatul Qadr did not fall on 27, if the Quran was not decreed on the 27th night of Ramadan, and imagine, say, a person who starts to observe night prayers from the age of 15 up until 65 years, it's around, roughly around 50 years of, 50 years of ibadah. And in the 50 years of ibadah, if this person wantedly misses the during the night of Ramadan, think about the person's loss in the hereafter. And may Allah forbid, if the does not fall on 27th of Ramadan, imagine the whole span of 50 years in which he was considering that to be the Lailatul Qadr. Now, why do some people call Lailatul Qadr to be at the 27th of night? Is purely based out of the desire. And to some extent, some people even go for numerology like calculation, where they put different numbers. At Lailatul Qadr, they write Lailatul Qadr and they arrive the numerological corresponding numerological mapping of each Arabic letter, and the sum comes to around 27, and that's why these people are actually so much adherent to follow the night of Lailatul Qadr as 27, and that's not true. Prophet Muhammad has clearly indicated, like I told you, Prophet Muhammad has mentioned, and it's mentioned in 17, it is narrated by Aisha radiallahu anha, where Allah says, search for the night of Qadr in the odd night of the last 10 days of Ramadan. So this one simple thing is actually speaking a lot. This one single hadith is a clear indication that if a Muslim wantedly misses this odd nights during the night of Ramadan, and he himself assumes that the 27th night of Ramadan is the Lailatul Qadr, then he is missing a lot in this one. We all are here to report the benefits, especially during the month of Ramadan. We all know that the month of Ramadan is the month of mercy. We all know that the month of Ramadan is the month in which Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will basically bless us with bounties, bless us with a board of bounties for us. So we, in spite of knowing all this fact, if one is gonna miss this fact, opportunity, then it's gonna be a lifetime opportunity. Like I told you, one night, that one single night, whichever is Lailatul Qadr, which is actually even Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, that night is something which we achieve, then it is equivalent to 1,000 nights, which is mathematically calculated into approximately 800 odd years. 800 odd years is amazing. Now, when we talk about the history of Nuh alayhi salam, people think that Nuh alayhi salam had an opportunity to live for 950 years. People will also envy Nuh alayhi salam that he had an opportunity to worship Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for 950 years. He had an opportunity to show that he is show that he is actually submissive to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for 950 years. And we think that Nuh alayhi salam is blessed and we don't have that opportunity, my dear brothers and sisters, and this is the best opportunity I can ever tell you. It's going to cost us, nothing more than just one night. But in the account of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, it is treated as if it is counted approximately or equal to 805 years. So 805 years of worship, and that too in 1 year, single year. So likewise, if a person is able to, attain this Lailatul Qadr every year upon year during the month of Ramadan, imagine this is multiplied into the lifespan of the years upon which this person is going to live. Let's say if this person is going to live and worship Allah, so 50 into 805 is amazing. So much amount of benefit we actually observe the Lailatul Qadr during just one night. Now, what do we do during the Lailatul Qadr? Now that we know that Lailatul Qadr is not one single day which is considered as 27th of Ramadan, we all know that Lailatul Qadr is going to span across the odd nights of the last 10 days of Ramadan. What do we do during the night of Lailatul Qadr? Of course, organize a lot of programs to keep people engaging. Like there will be a lot of quiz programs, there will be a lot of Q&A programs, there will be a lot of general knowledge questions in Islam, there will be a lot of time given for there will be a lot of time given for dua, there will be a lot of time given for, and there will be sufficient amount of time given for some about lot of time. Like I told you, the maximum of 13 rakats which one can worship for, pre-sunnah of Fajr, 13 rakats he can split across the whole night, and whole night he can spend worshipping Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And now that we have an opportunity to do that in our homes, it is of immense importance for my dear brothers and sisters, for us, that we should be equally vigilant here and ensure that we do not miss this Lailathul Qadr just by anticipating for this particular night during the 27th night of Ramadan. Rather, right now we are in our homes, we have been going through this lockdown, and we have sufficient amount of time, and we will have to best utilize this time by ensuring that every odd night during the last 10 nights of Ramadan is considered equally important. So we cannot arrive at a conclusion saying that 27 is better than 25 and things like that. We should give equal importance for 21, 23, 25, 27 and 29. There are some Muslim families for whom even they are convinced with the fact that Lailatul Qadr cannot be just one day. However, they glorify this 27th night by dressing up well during the night of 27th. That's totally wrong, my dear brothers and sisters. So in this Ramadan, I hope most of the Muslim brothers and sisters should ponder over the fact that if we miss one Lailatul Qadr in this 1 year, we are going to incur a loss of 805 years of ibadah, whether we live until next Ramadan. So it's all purely based on the qadr of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, that whomever He wants us to live, He'll let us live, and whomever He doesn't want us to live, it's purely based on the authority of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, that nobody can have a guarantee that we'll live a long life. So assuming this fact, we have this Ramadan as a beautiful opportunity for us right before us, especially during this COVID-19 situation where everybody is locked down. We should try to utilize every single moment during the month of Ramadan, and especially the last 10 nights is so significant, where Prophet Muhammad would wake everyone in his family and ask them to worship Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So it is our duty that we should tell, like Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says in the Holy Quran, Ya ayyuhan nas qu anfusakum wa ahlikum an-nara. So, people, you are the ones who should basically ensure that you and your family are saved from the hellfire. So if we have to save ourselves and our family from hellfire, this is a very good opportunity, and we should try to utilize this opportunity by worshipping the odd nights during the last 10 nights of Ramadan, and thereby trying to achieve the Lailatul Qadr. Inshallah, Allah would reward us for worshipping Him almost 805 years, which is approximately equal to 1,000 nights. And that's the very crisp answer for this one. So there is no question of whether we should actually just be worshipping on the 27th night of Ramadan. Rather, each night in the last odd days of Ramadan is important to us, and we should ensure that we will search for those Lailatul Qadr nights during the last last 5 days during the last odd 5 days during the last 10 days of Ramadan, and thereby report the reward from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And I answer with this one. I hope this was beneficial. I request my brothers and sisters that if you have any questions to prioritize over the question of the number of questions we have, I sincerely urge you to send your messages to the WhatsApp number 9886 944636, and inshallah let's try to address one question at a time and utilize this Ramadan and ensure that we report the rewards in both the worlds. Wa akhir da'wana walhamdulillahi rabbil alameen. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.